Like most of you, I'm a full-time student, but also a part-time explorer. So it all began in the summer of 2012, where I persuaded my mom to let me go on a work and travel program in the United States with two of my classmates, and also to persuade my dad to let me bring along his camera on the trip, which I'm glad I did. So there are a lot of uncertainties going on since this is my first trip far away from home, like what if I get lost, what if I run out of cash. But in the end, I told myself, okay, put everything aside, I'm going to do this. So the next thing is, what should I look at? In the kitchen, housekeeping, cashier. Well, I was technically working in a kitchen cleaning crew on minimum wages on midnight shift for the whole summer. Nah, just kidding. Actually, I told myself, okay, I have to do this. One day I went up to my chef, I told him, Chef, I like to cook and I really want to cook, so could you give me a chance in doing so? And he said, yeah, sure. He gave me a chance, I grabbed all of it, and I cooked for around 300 people on a normal kitchen shift. No pressure. So, moving on from that, I would like to share with you how did my photographic journey begin. This is my friend Jack. He's an award-winning professional photographer with many published work worldwide. And this picture is actually taken on the second time I met him. The first time I met him, I didn't know who he was until I went home and looked it up. And on the next day, I got off this 12-hour shift, which was very tiring, but I still grabbed my camera gears and went on photo hunting. Then I met Jack again. And this time I had a really good time telling him like how did my journey begin, how did I end up here. And in the end, he just asked me like, do you mind showing me your photos? And I just passed my camera to him and he browsed through my photos and he told me, these photos are amazing. So remember, don't stop shooting. And guess what? I never did. And obviously, each photo has its own story behind. I can tell you all about how I got followed by a bison while doing a hike. How did I saw a black bear and I panicked and I ran, which I'm not supposed to right away. And the bear cut the tree instead. And how did I wait 4 hours under the blistering cold to see a lunar rainbow by my own eyes. And we don't have time for that, so I'm just going to do a short video on my highlights of my journey in Yellowstone. Okay, so moving on from that, why did I choose this song? Mainly it's because I haven't been home for 2 years and I'm finally going home this summer. And secondly, this is March 15th, so happy Mother's Day. I love you, Mom. Okay, so from that point onwards, I sort of set a goal for myself. I'm going to do 30 countries in 3 years. Okay, that doesn't sound right, so okay, maybe 3 years or before my 25th birthday. More flexibility. Okay. So moving on from that, in the summer, at the end of my summer in year 2, I planned a trip to Taiwan. And the first week I was there with my classmates, and the second week I went on myself for my first ever solo trip. And guess what? I did kind of get lost on the first day itself. But fortunately, I took some photos to better illustrate the story. So I went to this Taroko National Park, which is on the eastern coast of Taiwan. I went there, told myself I'm going to do an 8-kilometer round trip, which would probably take me 4 hours. Okay, then I have time to go into the city, look for accommodation. But guess what? During the halfway there, I ended up in the street in the middle of nowhere. Saw no signs of civilization for half an hour. Then I met this Taiwanese lady, And I told her, I'm kind of lost here. And she just went like, okay, we need to get you out of here, but I only have one safety helmet. So maybe we could go to the ranger station and see how we could get along with that. And which they don't have any of them, but what they did was the park ranger actually borrowed me one of the caving helmets, which I guess is also true. Well, it's a helmet. So moving on from that, she brought me on a road trip across the national park, and data was running short. I told her I haven't found my accommodation yet. So she called the hostel and said, oh, that's a free bed, if you want to stay in my hostel, it's fine. And then she brought me along the way to the hostel and checked in, and along the way we saw this summer concert going on, and she told me, okay, I'm too old for this, but if you want to go to the concert, I could drop you off there and you can find your own way back because I'm leaving the next morning. And I didn't have the chance to say thank you to her, but thank you. And I never met her after that, but that's basically what happened on my first day on my first ever solo trip. And then moving on from that, the last picture is taken on when I went on to meet my friends, which we worked together in the summer of Yellowstone. So, based on that first trip, I told myself in my third year, something bigger, why not? So, while procrastinating for exams, I booked a one-way ticket to Zurich and a return ticket from Istanbul 2 months later, and I planned my journey in between. So, to me, traveling is nothing new, but it's about what you want to do in life and how do you want to break your own boundaries. So, I would like to tell you, I told myself before I left for the trip, like, okay, tell my friends, send me a postcard and I'll send you back. And this is what happened from the summer in August, and that's my wall sitting, by the way. It was kind of easy to like jump on the bed and just like stick it up. I haven't thought of actually how do I want to get them off easily when I graduate this summer, but we'll figure out soon enough. So, and the next thing is, there's always one boundary that's always meant to be broken, which is between people. So to me, after the trip for the States, it taught me that besides exploring the world and breaking our own boundaries, there's always one boundary that's more important to be broken, which is between the people around the world. So those are the friends that definitely last forever, and with social media now, it's even easier to keep in touch. And there was one picture right in the middle which did not end that well, by the way, so. That's my friend from Slovenia. And yeah, his dad can't really speak English, so when I went in, he just like. And then once I finished it, thank you, another one. So, I would like to share a highlight from my summer trip across Europe by myself, and this is a picture taken of Matterhorn during a sunset. And what's significant about this photo is the story behind the photo. It's actually taken, normally when I do hikes, I do with my friends, but this is taken on my first ever solo hike. So I arrived at this village in Zermatt in Switzerland, and it was a cloudy day. And only I thought it was a good idea to go on a hike where Matterhorn is covered in clouds. So it did take some courage and a big leap of faith, but after that 6-hour hike, I saw no signs of civilization except mountain sheep throughout the journey. But I'm glad to say that I finally crossed off one of the things on my bucket list, which is to enjoy a tour around the European mountains. I kind of remember my friends telling me that don't take pictures of where you go, but you don't take pictures of yourself doing that. So I told myself, okay, I have to start somewhere, right? So I'll start taking selfies. So this is actually the first selfie I've taken. And I do carry around 7 kilos of camera gears on my trips, and I would say that it's not the best of ideas if you go on a hike especially. But to me, at the end of the day, it's totally worth the effort despite the shoulder pain. And also, there's a reason behind I take these photos. And one, because I'm a nature type guy, which is why I went Yellowstone in the first place. And secondly, it's not the best of ideas if you put a tripod and camera in big cities like Milan and Paris. So, and later on, I did realize that in the outdoors, it's not that safe for my camera too. Because when I took this picture on my last week trip to Wales, It was so rainy and the wind was so brutal, it almost blew my camera off the tripod, which I'm glad it did not. So, and here I am. Okay, I know it looks super cool, right? But if you want one, you can always have one because I printed some for everyone. So, and so far, I'm a 4th year student now, final year, and I traveled to 27 countries in that, 3 months left to 3 years, or 1 more year to my 25th birthday. So, actually, nothing is impossible if you believe in yourself. So, lastly, I would like to shed some light on any personal journeys that might seem scary to begin with. To me, it's all about taking that first scary step. I got to admit, it's not easy getting out of your comfort zone, especially like me standing here right here. It's pretty scary, by the way. So, in the end, I would like to share with you when my opportunity came, I grabbed hold of mine. And when yours come, I do hope that you do the same and challenge yourself and break your own boundaries. And obviously, for my travels, not everything will go as smoothly as you imagine. I can tell you stories on how I lost my passport in Amsterdam and traveled Europe for 10 days without one. I can tell you on how did I miss my flight from Hawaii back home. And I can also tell you on how did I live in a tropical country for 23 years and decide it was a good idea to rent a car in Iceland in winter. And survive not one snowstorm but 2 snowstorms, and this is one of the pictures that I took with that. But we don't have time for that, so I would like to share with you with a photo from each country that I've been to. And I would like to end my speech to tell you that, like most of you, unlike the line of experienced speaker like we have for the day, I'm just a student like most of you are. So if I can do it, I'm pretty sure that you can do. So thank you very much.